Hydreigon puts in the finest of work this game, but there is a massive plot twist at the end of the battle, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's so exciting. Can you hear the sarcasm in my voice? Anyway, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're going against the Lazy Boy, also known as Tyler, from the Discord server. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There is a link in the description down below. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this one. And with that being said, let's jump into the team preview. Ooh, Tyler's brought a pretty awesome looking team. He's got a Decidueye, a Greninja, Mimikyu, Cinderace, a Sandy Shocks, and a Great Tusk. Pretty powerful looking team. I can see Decidueye doing decent here. Sucker Punch is going to be nice for revenge, you know, finishing off like the Sandy Shocks and their Decidueye. Also the Greninja as well is going to take some nice damage from Sucker Punch, which would be great. Mimikyu as well. Sucker Punch, boom. You know, other than Shadow Sneak outspeeding us and all that. Cinderace is also not the bulkiest Pokemon in the world, and if we can get a defensive Great Tusk and we have a Swords Dance up, I can see that putting them to work. But the MVP of this game has already been decided. It is definitely going to be Hydreigon. It takes out the Decidueye, Draco Meteor on the Greninja, Draco Meteor on the Cinderace, Draco Meteor on the Sandy Shocks, Draco Meteor on the Great Tusk. It's just that Mimikyu we need to take care of, and for that we have the Kingambit. So I'm thinking we lead off with Hydreigon, and we just go straight for that nice and powerful Scarf U-turn right off the bat. Because I'm really having a tough time deciding what they're going to lead with. They could lead with Greninja, and it could be Scarf Greninja, but I doubt it. And the battle begins, so Tyler's going to lead off with Bedrock, which is going to be the Great Tusk. Now, remember how I said at the start we just Draco Meteor this thing? Well, I'm not going to do that because that's not the best idea when it's at full health. So I'm going to go for a U-turn at first, and we'll just get a bit of chip damage with a U-turn, and we'll scout to see what it's going to do, because I don't want to lose Hydreigon. It is such an important part of this game. I can already tell. So we'll get Hydreigon out of there, and we'll go into something to tackle this thing. And now the only thing I really think of is going to be my Decidueye. Decidueye is not really doing much this game. I know I said it can Sucker Punch a lot of things, but I feel like it's our best switch in here. So, you know, just in case they go for a close combat. So I'm going to go into Robinroot. If they go for a knockoff predicting the switch, or they just wanted to knock off the Hydreigon's item, which they do, we don't live that. Decidueye goes down. See, Decidueye is just it's frail. It's slow, it's frail, it's got that Rampardo syndrome where it's got like, you know, really high attack, but it's quite frail and all that wonderful stuff. So anyway, what are we going to do here? We could easily go into Slowqueen. We could even Terrestrialize if we really wanted to. I think the best thing to do is to weaken this thing with our own Great Tusk. So I'm going to go into Great Tusk real quick. There we go, Great Tusk comes through. We're going to pop a booster energy, get that attack up, and this is pretty much the only thing, looking at the team, that I can think our Great Tusk is going to be good at. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go for a Headlong Rush. I'll tear out my water. Let's go for a Headlong Rush. That way, if they go into Decidueye, we're still going to get some decent damage off, and we'll go for a knockoff again if they do for a Decidueye switch of their own. So yeah, bad switch on the Decidueye, but I couldn't see anything else coming in clutch for us. I guess, like, if we wanted to predict the knockoff, could have gone into my own Great Tusk, popped the booster energy, took minimal damage from the knockoff, but at the same time, I don't think that, I think that was a bit risky. Headlong Rush comes through, and that does a lot of damage, which is absolutely amazing. They probably have Ice. Do they have Ice Spinner on this thing? If they go for a close combat, that's going to do a good chunk of damage, but we do outspeed. Which is great, and we can just go straight for a Headlong Rush right now and take this thing out, hopefully. And if we can take this thing out, we're good. So go Headlong Rush comes through. They didn't really have a switch into Headlong Rush. Mimikyu will pop its disguise, and that means it won't be able to set up Swords Dance on us. So I think they did the right thing by letting their Great Tusk go down. So it's a bit of a back and forth. We lost Decidueye, they lost Great Tusk. I think losing Great Tusk is definitely a bad thing for them, because now Kingambit can Sucker Punch away a lot of that team. So yeah, I think we're good here. Now their Decidueye comes in. Now, unfortunately for me, they could easily be a Scarf variant, or they could Terrestrialize if they really wanted to. So I feel like my Great Tusk is on its last legs. I feel like we should just go straight for a knockoff. They might go for a nice and powerful Shadow Sneak here. What's my option though? I suppose we do have an option. We have Kingambit right there. Let's go Kingambit. Let's keep Great Tusk around for now. We don't need to sack it off necessarily, because it's still it still outspeeds this thing. And we get to scout now to see what kind of move it's going to go for. So we're going to Kingambit. Kingambit gets his Supreme Overlord, and I don't think this thing gets any fighting type moves, so we should be fine. Spirit Shackle comes through. Could have knocked off. We could have just gone for a knockoff, really. As we are no longer able to escape, which is absolutely fine. They no longer have a very good Kowtow Cleave switch in because their Great Tusk has gone. So let's go for a Kowtow Cleave, and let's get some damage off on something. They're going to withdraw Decidueye. What are they going to go into is take a Kowtow Cleave, though. Are they going to go Mimikyu? Stonehenge. The Sandy Shocks. Interesting choice. So that's nice and shiny as well. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. They're going to get a nice and powerful booster energy, which is fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. It's going to boost their special attack. We go for the Kowtow Cleave. Does some solid damage. So we're good right now. We're good right now. So these things tend to pack various different things. But when you see a booster energy like that, you think it's going to attack. So go for a Sucker Punch, and let's see if we can get attack off. If they go for something like Gravity or they go for Stealth Rocks, we'll just keep throwing Sucker Punches at its face and just see what it's going to do. So I think that's the right play. Sucker Punch comes through, takes out Stonehenge, and that's going to be the game for old Sandy Shocks over there. So both Paradox Pokemon are officially dealt with, which is absolutely great. Kingambit's coming through for us right now. Kingambit is a beast, to be fair. And now looking at the rest of the team, there's not a lot that wants to come in on Hydreigon's Draco Meteor other than the Mimikyu. So in comes Cinnaburn, which is going to be the Cinderace. So we don't really have the best switch into this. We do have the Slowking, which can definitely switch in, but I think we're better off sacking off Great Tusk. We have things for the Decidueye. We have Volcarona, we have the Hydreigon. I think we sack off Great Tusk here. We definitely don't let Checkmate the Kingambit go down, though. That's for sure, because Sucker Punch could really come in handy later on down the line. So we go into Great Tusk. We sack it off. They go for a U-turn, which is going to be boosted by Libero, changing into a Bug type, and that's going to nearly finish us off. So there we go. They lose some of the HP from the Life Orb, which is good to note. The Life Orb. Now they probably go into the likes of the Greninja, I would say. Peekaboo comes in. Peekaboo is, of course, the Mimikyu. Mimikyu's probably going to set up a nice and powerful Swords Dance right now, so I'm going to go for a knockoff. They go for a Shadow Sneak. That's absolutely fine by me. Takes out the Great Tusk, which is absolutely amazingly fine by me. And now, I don't think we need to Tera with anything else other than Kingambit, so I'm going to go ahead and go into Kingambit. I think that's probably the best bet. And I'm going to Terrestrialize into a Flying type. That's going to give us no weakness to Cinderace anymore. But it also means that we still match up pretty well against Decidueye. It's just the Greninja we've got to watch out for. So Greninja's a pain. So we'll Terrestrialize into a Flying type, expecting, because they can run Drain Punch. They can run Drain Punch. I'm going to go for the Kowtow Cleave just in case they switch into something else like the Cinderace. So we do Terrestrialize, which is great. And look at my suit. Look at my suit. How cool is that suit? I mean, I do prefer the violet one, but how cool is that suit? Anyway, Kingambit comes through. Kingeth the Gambit comes through and Terrestrializes into a nice and powerful Flying type. They go for a Swords Dance. Swords Dance is a good play. The only downside to the Swords Dance play is that we go for Kowtow Cleave, break the substitute right now, which is, of course, going to break the disguise. Plonk, like that. Lose some health as well, which is great. But they do have the red card. Huh. Right, I wasn't expecting that. So, we get forced out into Volcarona. Now, luckily, we do outspeed with the Volcarona. So, we can just go straight for a Fiery Dance right now, and that'll just do a lot of damage to anything, really. So, let's go for the Fiery Dance. We'll try and get some damage off. They go for a Shadow Sneak at +2. We should still take that, no problem. And we don't get the burn, but we don't get 2-hit KO'd, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. That defensive investment on Volcarona is definitely worth it. So we'll go for another Fiery Dance real quick. They go for another Shadow Sneak. It's definitely going to be able to live that at 5 HP as we go for the Fiery Dance, taking out the Mimikyu. So Volcarona is looking pretty good right now. We don't really need Volcarona for anything else because the Decidueye is probably going to have priority for a start. Maybe Shadow Sneak, maybe Sucker Punch. The Greninja outspeeds and KOs. The Cinderace outspeeds and KOs. We don't really need Volcarona for anything else. So depending on what they do, they go into Cinderace. So Cinderace is nice and shiny. Love to see it. Do we have a switch? We don't really have a switch. So I think the best thing to do here is to just go for a Fiery Dance, just on the off chance they do for something else. They do go for the Sucker Punch, which is absolutely fine by me. Sucker Punch comes through. There we go. Sucker Punch comes through. They get some Life Orb Chip, which is always nice. And we get to do what we've always wanted to do in this situation. Hydreigon. We get to go into Hydreigon and drop a Draco. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's drop a Draco and hope we don't miss. Draco Meteor comes through. It doesn't miss. Should take out the Cinderace from there, as it does. Hydreigon gets its first KO of the day. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hydreigon is such a beast. In comes Whiplash, which is going to be the Greninja probably. Yeah, there's the Greninja. So Greninja is a tough cookie here. So we have to switch out. We go Slowking. We go Slowking. So Slowking, we are going to go into. We want to have our special attack renewed. So we'll go into Slowqueen real quick. And the idea behind this Slowqueen switch is that we get... oh, they're going to Terastallize. Okay, so what type are they going to Terastallize into? They're going to go Fairy? Lecky. They go Electric. Electric. Interesting. So Electric type Greninja comes through. They kind of have to go for an Ice Beam, right? No, they go for a Tera Blast. They really predicted the Slowking switch. Nice going. That was a pretty good predict, as that's going to do a solid 50% to us. So that's unfortunate. Tera Blast does do a lot to us. So we can't really switch out here. We can actually, can't we? We can just go straight into Hydreigon and drop a Draco. I think that's all we needed to do. Let's go Hydreigon. Let's hope they don't switch up moves. They might think we're just going to let Slowking go down because Slowking doesn't really do much for us. But it's a valuable switch up of the moves. They go for a Tera Blast again, which is, of course, not going to do much damage to old Hydreigon over here who resists it. Still does a decent bit of chip, but, you know, it's whatever. So now we drop a Draco once more. Let's go for it. Let's go for the Draco. Let's drop that Draco. They're going to withdraw. Okay, they're going to withdraw the Greninja. They want to preserve it for later, which makes a lot of sense. They go into Decidueye. Is Decidueye going to swiftly avoid this Draco Meteor like a champ? Is he going to swiftly avoid this Draco Meteor? It doesn't. We drop a Draco on its face as it nearly gets the KO, which is absolutely fantabulous. So we have got a perfect switch here. I would love to stay in and go for another Draco, but Hydreigon's too valuable. Let's go straight into Kingambit. Kingambit can take any hit this thing wants to throw at us. If they go for a Swords Dance, we can still take a Spirit Shackle after that. So we'll go into Checkmate real quick. And they can't risk the Greninja taking any damage, so they'll definitely stay in here. They go for a Brave Bird. Does a decent chunk of damage and get some recoil. So there we go. That's pretty awesome. So we're obviously a flying type. We don't resist the Spirit Shackle or the Brave Bird. I forgot Decidueye. I got Brave Bird. I've got to be honest with you. Let's go for that Kowtow Cleave and let's get some damage off on something. They either let the Decidueye go down. Oh no! No! What a cliffhanger! Oh no, that sucks. That really sucks. I can't believe that just happened. Oh, that really sucks. Oh no. Let's see if it was me. I knew I hadn't sorted these issues out. It was too good to be true. We had the last two battles, no problems. Let's see how this is. So let's see what the problem is. So someone has disconnected, returning to the menu. Let's see if it's me again. If it's me again, yeah, it's me. I'm offline. It's me. No, then again, let me try and connect to the internet. See if it gives me a warning about disconnecting. You're now connected to the internet. So it hasn't given me a warning, which means it wasn't actually either of us. It's just the server being a pain. It's just disconnected me straight away. The servers for this game are rubbish, I tell you what. My internet's like not very good at the moment. It keeps disconnecting, but if it's you that disconnects, it gives you a warning saying if you do it again, you'll be banned for 30 minutes. So that wasn't my connection. It wasn't my opponent's connection either. It sucks. Anyway, thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.